Yo, today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Your online activity should not be public, so protect yourself at expressvpn.com/achievement.
Hi, I'm Jack Patillo with Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter, and you've probably heard that our governor here in Texas has lifted the statewide mandate requiring people to wear masks in public. Rooster Teeth is still committed to maintaining a safe work environment, and that includes continuing to mask up. Here's a little more about our plans going forward as we continue to prioritize the safety of our employees and their families.
I wear a mask when I'm out to protect myself and my loved ones.
That's me.
I'm a triple masker. That means I wear 3 masks whenever I go out. Here's 1, 2, and here's the 3rd one that I never take off.
You should wear a mask because it's courteous and it saves lives, but also because you can do funny voices and nobody knows where they come from. Oh, I could be doing this voice from anywhere. It doesn't matter if I'm doing it from behind the mask.
Who said that?
Could be anyone.
I wear a mask so I can see my family eventually. And I wear a mask because I'd like others to see their families too.
I wear a mask for my family and to keep my little ones safe.
If I can wear a helmet every day for the last 18 years, then you can wear a mask. Seriously, 18 years. Just imagine how the inside of this smells. And yeah, it's worse.
So please join with us and continue to wear masks and practice social distancing. We can't wait to see the rest of you, our community, in person. But until then, let's stay vigilant, because we're all in this together.
That's the best part. Hey, what up?
Not
This
much.
show is,
No, yeah. I like your
ruined the
gunners, Trey.
silence. It was
Looking
just
good.
you couldn't wait one more
Man.
second for the awkward silence. Okay, I was letting it sit. This show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Stop putting your online data at risk. Get protected at expressvpn.com/off-topic. I was about to say off-toppy just for fun, and then realized that wouldn't work as a URL. So I pulled it back at the last second. Welcome to Off Topic, the show where we are separately. Today, I'm your host, Michael Jones. We got Lindsey Jones. We got Trevor Collins. Whoa, I just saw Trevor for the first time.
Very
and we got,
MLG today.
ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hello.
Watch out. He'll bip ya.
That's right.
Let's
My
not
eyes
forget.
are
You look
on
confused. You look confused.
I am confused.
You do,
Was
yeah.
I meant to be here? I'm still confused about it.
I am
thought
as well.
you were.
But before we get too confused, let's not forget Matthew Bragg. He's here.
I am
So,
here.
That's a hand.
Correct. As
right
my
out
hand.
the gate,
The hand
Wha-
of Matt.
the hand of Matt. You will be slapped by the
That
hand of
marks
Matt.
people.
Yeah.
Well,
Why?
or that way.
Why
Well, I
aren't
mean,
they?
look, a fast marking is better. You don't notice. Or
I
you
think
do,
you'd
I
still
don't know.
notice.
No,
You would
no,
notice.
nah.
Yeah, you would notice. I will say though, 70% of the attacks happen from the rear.
It's true. It's
Right.
true. You can,
Well,
you,
the
you can like
30%
anticipate
block.
them from the front.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
What happens about the front? I'd block the blow. And then slap. It's The
People
Office,
slap.
everyone.
It
We're
is,
talking
it
about
is.
The Office.
Again.
Anyway,
Going
Is that
back
what's behind
slightly,
you?
though,
yeah.
it is. I wish we could be there.
I'm
Yeah,
at my
um,
desk.
Whoa!
Don't worry about the proportion of things. Look, it's the old couch right behind me.
You really did get enormous.
I am big.
Look at that. You fit the whole couch.
Hey. I'm big. Check this out.
Oh, big chungus. Summoning Fiona in here.
Hey, it's official merch now.
It was purchased for Fiona about a year ago. Anyway, why am I at the office? Because Mikey got sick. That's it. And so it was like, well, the three of you could go to the office and I could do it from home. But I got sick. Hang on, wait. Is it his fault? No. My children got sick. It's their fault. So one of them got sick. Then like a day later, the other one got sick. Then I got sick. So probably not a good idea to send Lindsay in, considering everyone else in the house is sick. So that's two of us down. And you can't really just swap people immediately because we do like plan who's going to the office and we have to get tested and everything. So this is the people who already did it. Just know all that money right down the drain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I got my brain poked. I tasted some blood.
Yep.
Felt like it was worth it.
Like
I like the rush.
my eye twitched for a good hour or two after that.
Spaghetti.
Oh, I do the move where
We're here.
right
That
after they
might
pull
be
it
the
out
lack
in the
of
car.
sleep.
It definitely could
Also
be.
that.
It really could be.
Trevor's
You know,
getting
I
on
go into
you.
like immediate fetal position after they test me. I just go and like hide in my car for a second. I go, I'm ready.
And they
I
just
just
like
go
look
back
at
to
you
my
like I didn't leave. But,
Yeah, 1 second. Give me
Okay.
1 minute. 1 minute. Is that when you slap them with the hand of Matt?
Yeah, just
Got you.
away. Get out of here.
Oh,
Am I
rest
immune
with
or-
perishers.
Oh man.
Also, I'd like to say, way to throw our kids under like the metaphorical bus.
Not under the
You're
bus.
like,
They
it's
got
our
me
kids'
sick.
fault.
They got me
But-
sick. That's not
well,
under the
we're
bus.
the parents. We're responsible for our kids getting sick.
That's
So
not
isn't it
true.
our fault
I'm
they
not
got sick in the first
responsible-
place?
No, I'm not responsible for them like putting shit in their mouth, like sucking on like every piece of plastic in the house. You know?
You don't know where that's been.
I do know where it's been. That's why I keep saying,
Yes,
get that out of your
that's the
mouth.
problem.
Eat the
Parenting is
food. Your mouth
a
is
lot
for
of running over
food.
to someone and going, get that out of your mouth. Stop.
Your
What
brain-
is that?
That's for
You can
food.
Stop.
And it's, but it's a cautionary tale. If one person gets sick, so can many. And so what was great was I didn't find out till this morning. So I messaged a couple of uh-ohs. And don't worry, we didn't just ruin off topic. We were supposed to film some other stuff too today.
Don't worry, we're ruining everything. This is an equal opportunity ruining situation. So I had this show concept that I've been wanting to do. I haven't talked about it anywhere, so I'll talk about it now. But there's this little show that I want to kind of like do that brings back some familiar ingredients in addition to some new ones, and I'm very excited to do it. I think it's cursed. I'll be honest. I think it's cursed because at this point it's been delayed like a month, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm excited for it. It's kind of for 2021. We're all excited to get back to the office and do stuff that we haven't been able to do, right? And that's where this comes from. It's just kind of scooping up some of our ideas that we couldn't do at home and then doing them at the office. But we have a lot of new ideas. Jack's got his new podcast. We're trying Unruly Rollers, which is like a tabletop role-playing version of
It's
Let's
on
Roll.
YouTube now. Yeah.
And we've got this this new show that I want to do. We got some ideas floating about as we get back to the office.
We actually have the whole Unruly Rollers cast with you right now. Like, look at
we
this,
do.
everyone.
Oh my God,
Wow.
we do.
Yeah.
Hey, and I did, can I say I did a really bad job explaining it on Awu today.
Well,
You
take
did.
two. Try
You
again.
did, buddy.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
Elevator pitch.
You kind of said it, right?
No,
You just did it.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I blacked it out. You're gonna have to do it again.
I was like, well, also I'll say I'm feeling a little bit better. This morning, I look like my eyes were red. They wouldn't stop watering. I was fumbling my words. I'm a little better now, but I'm still a little leaky. So Unruly Rollers is a little RPG, tabletop RPG that we did, hosted by Alec, and it is similar, very inspired by the little Getting Dicey one shot we did last year for RTX, which was myself, Matt, Fiona, and Alfredo. So if you saw that, very similar to that. But as Matt said, the cast before you today are the 4 people on the show. And it's based on the game Kids on Bikes. And we all just play 4 different characters in a world that Alex sets. It's a bit more role play than actual like rolling. There are dice to be rolled. It's a lot more free form and story. It's much more of like, here's your characters, here's what they do. Yeah, I think Alex said to someone, I think I saw him post this somewhere, that the dice are still included because he likes dice. But beyond that, it's not a very strict like numbers game.
Like 5 seconds into the intro, Alec is like, I don't like the rules.
So I got rid of most of them. But anyway, the first episode's out. That, by the way, that was a much better explanation than I did on Awu. The first episode's out, and there's only 4. So it's like we shot it all in one day, and it was fun. It was
So prepare for your feedback to be ignored.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Because
it's over.
it was not done in one day.
Well, the
But
feedback
honestly,
I
keep
saw,
the
though,
feedback coming, though. Like,
we did adjust to at the time. So yeah, sorry, Trey. Go ahead.
No. Yeah. We're back in that online forum where we got the delays and the Discord audios, and so we're fumbling over each other. I loved being in person. I was already out of the habit.
Yeah,
it felt good. It's like, how do I do off topic at home again? But yeah, no, we're gonna fumble over each other. It's gonna happen. But yeah, no, I'm super excited about it because I think we already do a little bit of role play in Let's Roll, and so this is providing a little bit more structure. Alec, as a DM, is very chaotic. He likes to take out some of the structure, so he's a little bit more loose form. But all of us are kind of getting our role-playing legs under us. So this is our first go. As we go on, if you guys resonate with it, if we continue wanting to do it, we'll we'll evolve it over time and maybe add in some more structure and some more mechanics back in there. But there's a lot of there's Kids on Bikes, there's Monster of the Week, there's D&D, there's a lot of other forms. There's board games that are built around this concept of long-running campaigns. So there's a lot of opportunity here. And so we're just getting our feet wet, and we appreciate, wet. The feedback. You guys have been really resonating with it, so I appreciate that.
Wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite is the oh, go ahead, Matt, please.
No, it's just like it felt kind of like felt good to go back and doing stuff like that, but it was also like, yeah, we've been staring at a computer screen for a year, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like getting back into it. But
You're excited, I don't know if you have the same feeling. I'm excited to socialize, but once I'm there, I'm like, how to
yeah,
I was already so awkward before quarantine, and now it's extra weird.
It's been a whole year to develop my awkward skill.
How do I human? Yeah. Oh, awkward level 100, social level -100, like polar opposite. It's an inversion. Yeah.
-100.
Yeah.
It's a rough level.
Yeah, I hacked Skyrim. I jailbroke it.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
You should just
Right.
say you went so far over that it rolled back.
Oh yeah, it went all the way around.
That's
I'm
a
that good.
thing in Skyrim. As someone who's broken that game, you can fucking make yourself so strong that you become too weak to do anything.
Hey, shameless plug. Matt made a video for that.
I did, a long time ago.
It's becoming a god.
Yeah.
If you want to become a god in Skyrim on one of your 5 releases of the game, which I know everybody has,
probably more.
You can do that.
What if I don't
Still
want
valid.
fixed it either.
What if I don't want to become a god? What if I want to become Matt?
Well, like I said, you just go all the way over and you roll back to where your sword starts healing people.
Dude, I feel like
there's more.
Yeah, that's the podcast.
Yeah,
really.
we're waiting. Yeah.
Dude, I'll go to bed.
Let me artificially extend it just a little bit here. We're talking about staying at home and staring at screens, dude. Lately, this last week, I tweeted about it, but this last week, I've realized I feel like, and I got LASIK many moons ago because it was mostly for within 10 feet, things would start to get, and it was just tedious. And then I think I talked about it on this podcast, but I usually wore contacts, and then I found out that I started having allergies that would basically. I guess it would give me little micro hives on the inside of my eyelids, so I couldn't wear contacts anymore, basically. And I didn't want to wear glasses because it's just I had an old set and they were tiny, whatever.
Yeah, you look like a nerd.
I looked like Matt, and I had the fortunate opportunity to get LASIK at that time, so I did. Anyway, I feel like I've completely undone all of that because I'm staring at screens. And so today, since we were already permitted to go to the office, I went through all of our boxes to find my unique personal effects and dig through everything. I found a lot of little trinkets that I've forgotten existed, and then I found my gunnies. So I'm gonna try putting these on and seeing if I hope they help because my eyes feel like lava.
Now you mentioned that we're just chatting about leaving and going back into the real world. I think before either last off topic or the one before that, and you were asking the same thing, is my eyesight going? I'm like, I feel the same way. And I feel like I'm not crazy here because Michael especially has talked about how my eyesight has been pretty good. Historically, I got good eyes. And now leaving the house, I'm like, I can't see shit. Or the phenomenon that people have talked about where you see a light source at nighttime and it has a natural halo around it in your eyes. There's no filter or anything.
Yeah.
It's that shouldn't be happening. Now it's happening to me. And I
Got
don't
lens
like
flares?
that. Yeah, right. JJ,
is that
get out of my eyes.
legit?
That
Does
does-
look a thing? You shouldn't have that.
And I'll tell you, but it does happen when you get LASIK.
Yep. I don't know if it happens to the PK.
In varying, maybe not. In varying, what's the word I'm looking for? Like degree. I've heard it's worse for some people than others. I have it slightly. It's not like, oh, I can't drive at night, but I see all the little extra rings on the lights at night if I'm driving, like all the street lights and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
They don't go away.
I just remember something Bernie talked about. He definitely said this like on a podcast, but he was asking a bunch of people who had LASIK before he got it. And it was one of his classic, just like angry rants where he was saying that, I knew a bunch of people that got LASIK and I kept saying like, how is it? Is it, should I get it? What's the pros? What's the cons? And he's like, every person I talked to was like, greatest thing in my life. No issue, nothing. Just like, oh, do it. There's not a single drawback. Best decision I ever made, which I would still say it is. But he's like, he got LASIK and then he had those little halos and he talked to the same people and they were like, and he's like, yeah, I don't know. I have like these little halos now when I look at lights at night. And they go, oh, yeah, well, that happens. And he's like, what the fuck didn't you tell me that? You didn't tell me. That's why I fucking asked you. Was there anything that, like, any negative? And you said no. And as soon as I say this, you say, oh, yeah, I have that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Other than the negative, there's no negative.
I just remember him telling that story.
Other than all the problems I
maybe see that as a positive. I don't know.
I would still highly recommend it, and I imagine he would too. But it is like, if you're going to ask, I mean, it is something I tell people. Like, hey, you got it. What's it like?
Much like a commercial in the US for some kind of like medication, I feel like if you talk to someone and they do recommend a procedure or some kind of medication, they should have the same disclaimer, but in real life, like, oh yeah, I love LASIK. Subject to just like real quickly under their breath, like, wait, what'd you say? Back it up. What was that last part?
What was that? Oh,
no,
I mean, just explosive diarrhea of the eyes. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
What was that? What does that mean? No.
I like to talk about glasses also. It seems like Matt and Trevor have the same like design for glasses. Do you guys usually go with like the rectangular lenses?
I thought you were going to ask, do you guys go together?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, we go at the same time. Yeah, you know.
You should. Ram.
I mean, we go. It's two separate appointments because they dilate the eyes, and you can't see after that, obviously.
Right. You guys support each other. I get it.
Yeah.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Canva Pro. A lot of us really struggle with the thought of graphic design. I mean, like MS Paint, Comic Sans level struggle, but people just really don't know where to begin. But now with Canva Pro, your designs, even mine, can start looking next level. Canva Pro is the easy to use design platform that has everything you need to design like a pro. You could be a professional designer or you could be just starting out. Either way, Canva Pro can help you boost your productivity and creativity. It's a quick, easy, and affordable way to design whatever you need. Canva Pro has everything in one place, including a collection of over 75 million premium photos, videos, audio, and graphics. Plus, a Canva Pro subscription also comes with time-saving tools that make the creative process quick and easy. I was talking to Aaron Porter, editor and graphic person at Achievement Hunter, who does a lot of things like this, and he was checking out Canva Pro, and he was telling me about how easy it was to use, and that has a ton of different pre-made styles and templates that you can use to easily customize and create whatever you're looking for, even if you don't have a lot of experience. They have dozens and dozens of nice looking templates where you can search for whatever you need. And then they have a bunch of styles under that so you can find the one that works best for you. He was talking about making like easy posters or presentations, etc. He's basically saying like, if people know what they're doing, it'll be great for you. If you don't know what you're doing, it's very easy to figure out and the tools are at your disposal to just make something quick and easy, but have it still looking nice and profesh. There's no idea too big or too small for Canva Pro. It's perfect for students, entrepreneurs, small business owners, or for you crafty folks. Anyone who needs to design for any reason, you got to try out Canva Pro. So design like a pro with Canva Pro. Right now, you can get a free 45-day extended trial when you use our promo code. Just go to canva.me/offtopic to get your free 45-day extended free trial. That's canva.me/offtopic. Canva.me/offtopic.
No, dude, I just go to the place and I'm like, those look good, and then I buy them. That's it. I don't like plan it. or anything
The
like
sound
that.
strategy. That's what I do.
Yours
Yeah.
look good for you. Yeah.
Okay. They need to be replaced because I think the last time I did this was probably like 4 years ago. I mean, somewhere in there. I just remember when I got this pair of glasses, I was like for a week sick because I realized my vision had changed so much in that time frame. It hurt.
I've started using gunners at the office, and like I like them. They were okay. I thought they might help with like one, seeing, and two, just like some of my motion sickness issues, because it seems like when I wore those, it helped a little bit. But I hated the style. My head is like really big, so these are my blue blocks, and these are like cat eye glasses. So they make my head look smaller than it actually is. They don't look like cartoon kid glasses I'm putting on. Yeah, sorry.
Your head got so
Better.
tiny. Yeah, that's what these are. These are old gunnies. I only have them because, or these particular ones because they were just the cheapest. I think they're the vapor ones. There were other ones I preferred, but whatever, they do the job. And yeah, they stay close to your eyes because they're supposed to like prevent. They say they control the climate. Basically, they just prevent air from blowing past your eyes and drying them out. And then there's obviously the yellow to block the blue, and then there I think is like a half. Whatever the unit is for prescriptions, it's like a half. So that way it's kind of like reading glasses. So that way it very slightly magnifies the screen or book or whatever you're looking at. So that way it eases the strain on your eyes. Because that's the thing, man. Even if you're inside, not looking at screens or whatever, there's only so far you can look away. So when you're inside for a freaking year, you're like, the most I look away is like 10 feet.
Yeah.
And so when I walk outside, I'm like, oh, things exist far. And then my eyes struggle to focus on
There's so
whatever.
much to look at.
Yeah.
I do.
I had that moment the other day. I was like driving around. I was like, oh my God, I can see hills so far away. I haven't seen that for so long. I forgot there was land.
Have you had the surreal moments where like you're now, because we've been in quarantine so long, like I was playing, what's the new Hyperscape? I took a second. Sorry, I didn't describe it at all, but hey, I got there. Thanks, brain. Hyperscape is the name of the game. While I was playing that, I was in the loading screen with I think Fiona, Matt, and Trevor for a video. And in the lobby, when you're waiting for a game to load, you can kind of look out over the cityscape. And for a brief moment, I was like, I could convince myself that this is real. Like right now, I'm visiting some kind of city. It's totally fake, but I need this. And my brain wanted to believe so badly that I accepted that as more of a reality than like looking out my window. Like, I don't know.
Would you take that? Would you take that if you were given the opportunity, like Ready Player One style, to slip into a system or whatever that Bruce Willis film was, where everybody was like in avatars of themselves? Would you take that if you could live in a different reality?
Yes, but I definitely worry about the classic, like, now you're trapped forever and you'll forget who you really are and your family. Like, there's going to be some caveat.
It depends on the reality. I think I'd be okay with it regardless of
All right, Matt,
point.
your reality is it's exactly the same as right now for you.
Trevor, I just said
exactly
I was
the
ready.
same.
I was ready to like eject from this reality. So
into another one.
But he knows he doesn't belong. Now it's like Rick and Morty. Like a Matt died in some other
yeah. Like I know I took that one's place.
Some timeline. Yeah.
I don't
buried
think,
the body.
Much like Rick, I don't think Matt would have any issue killing and taking another Matt's place.
No, dude. Like if I find another me, I know I have to kill it first because it's gonna do it too.
I mean,
like, it'll
I'll say
absolutely take me out.
even in Rick and Morty, he just went to a dimension where they were about to die and buried them. Matt would kill his other self to take his spot.
I mean, if I need the spot, you know, there's only one spot.
There's only one, and you'd go, "It's me." So
yeah, exactly. Like I would understand. I'd be like, "Oh man,
I feel like that might also be true." That though Matt then turns around and goes, "Eh."
Yeah, I mean,
you can
like
have it.
And that's when you had to go like, "Oh shit, this might have been a bad Matt."
Bad, man.
Would both Matts approach each other and just be like, "No, you do it. No, you do it."
I think there would definitely be a conversation. Like, all right, here's what's happening here. There's like all this. This is the situation. Do we flip for it? Is it? how do you want to handle it? Like roulette, maybe.
Maybe you play Monopoly for it.
Ooh, no. I mean, then we just both are dead at the end of it, and it's like,
damn.
Saw a few people in the chat wishing you well after that stream last night.
Yeah,
How you holding up, Matt?
That went way longer than I ever possibly thought it would.
That was a mistake. You should have known it would take that long. You've played Monopoly before.
I played Monopoly before, but like still, normally people give up by like the 3 or 4 hour mark. That wasn't what happened.
Well, you could have.
Why didn't you give up?
Because at that point, it was like I had a chance, and it was against Chilled, and I was like, it's just me and Chilled. He's landed on my boardwalk several times. I might be able to do this, and it just I did. There was a point where we realized it would go on for hours if we didn't like make some bad decisions. So we made some bad decisions.
Now. You live in Monopoly timeline.
Ooh,
you live here now. This is the Matt you traded with.
I would take the other Matt, the one that won. Like I would find that one and kill him, and then then I'd be in that.
And then you'd sit there in a quiet living room going,
yeah,
"I won.
Yeah, I won." Well, not me.
The game is over.
But that one did.
No, but then the reality you replace, you won.
Yeah, I know. Like I would be in that one, and I could talk to Chilled about it and be like, "I won. I did it." But that'd be it. That'd be the whole thing.
Now, if this were an anime, you'd have that moment, and then something would trigger you to go back to the beginning of the timeline, forgetting everything that happened, and your friendship is totally gone, and it's sad.
Oh yeah,
Much like Kingdom Hearts.
We would have ruined the entire thing, but you know, when you walk away.
I saw a comment in here on the RT site from Colonel Cram. Two Trevors would probably just say, "Don't."
Like the two Spider-Men pointing at each other, but they both have a little gun. And they go, "Don't stop it. Don't."
The glasses make it even better. You look somehow more and less official with a fake handgun and your glasses. Yeah, right.
Less official?
I don't know. Like, I do and I don't trust this man.
He makes me think of a helicopter pilot.
He's either had proper training or he's a 13-year-old kid who likes to play paintball. You tell me.
A 13-year-old helicopter pilot.
Oh,
I don't know. Damn. But
he succeeded a lot in the 13 years.
Exactly. Well, look, it's like they've got like those 12-year-old geniuses that are in college. Why can't there be like a 12-year-old helicopter pilot?
You know,
what I mean?
I'm not knocking that.
His qualifications are GTA, and
hey, all you geniuses out there, quit going into academia and helping the world and building a better tomorrow. What the hell, man? Go fly a plane.
Fly a whirlybird.
Go build a Lego set. Just pull your thing back. Your goals.
Build a Lego set and fly that.
Yeah.
I'm qualified to fly this. I built a Lego set. Okay, don't you worry.
Did we
I understand aerodynamics?
Did we get the new merch? Does anybody have it that just came out? I have a
new
box
merch.
I haven't opened yet. Yeah, the eco merch just dropped.
I think
right?
it's in the
Didn't that
box
just
I
come
haven't
out?
opened yet.
Yeah,
you're on the same page as me. Here's
All right,
the thing.
you vamp. I'm gonna go open
like,
the box.
Yeah, go get it. I was like, I'm gonna wear that today. And then I saw the Big Chungus shirt, and I said, maybe tomorrow. I didn't wear it. It's nice though. I talked about it on Awu. I fucking love. First of all, it's comfy as shit. I love the Get Good muscle shirt. It's so nice. I like the color, and it's just got one of those like just a little logo. I think it's in the upper left hand corner. It's a bicep. It's like, ugh. But then like the arms cut off, and it's just like one of those like cartoon dog bones sticking out, and it just says "Get Good." And there's a hat too.
See the graphic above me?
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, look at us.
Look at that.
Look at us pretending to hang out. Yeah, Matt sitting on a step. I mean, we did hang out.
We did hang out.
It was to take those pictures. It wasn't.
I don't think
natural.
we would ever have hung out at that location.
Dude, look how good I look. Look how small I am.
I did.
I'm shrinking. That was, and I've
You need to
mentioned
think
that
you out.
story. I've
Glad
mentioned
you did.
that in a couple places about how windy it was because it was just a windy day, and then we took those pictures right next to the water. And I didn't do anything with my hair. My hair was kind of behaving that day. And I went, you know what? I'm just going to leave it long. I got out of my car and it was like, and I was like, oh no. And then I walked up. I was there first and Erica had a hat. And I was like, give me that fucking hat right now. And then Matt showed up and was like, oh no.
Dude, that was the day that literally like I had spent time before leaving to like put my hair in a bun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got it in the bun. I was like, I hate it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
And I got there and just wind everywhere.
No buns out, funds out.
No, I don't know. I think it's just
Fun's away.
seeing me like that is going to take some
Would
time.
upset you, or
It's just going to take some time. I'll get there, but I'm hopefully going to get this all chopped off soon. So
Matt, the number of times I look in the mirror and I go, "Who the fuck is this person? who am I looking at here? what is going
and then
on?"
that's when you realize another Lindsay has killed you.
Oh my god, the darkest
This stuff feels
timeline.
comfy A to the F, dude.
it's very
Yeah, it's
comfy.
super
Look at the back of the
comfy.
hoodie.
Oh,
It's got
it's like
some
MTV. Yeah.
yeah, it's got some like
the TV's broken.
it's got a little dabble of each of our different things. Like this is kind of reminiscent of the Red Web task merch, task force merch, and this is kind of reminiscent of the Haunter stuff we did a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
Ooh,
it.
long sleeve.
The last one's kind of Let's Watchy, also.
Yeah,
That was
Man.
also, if you've heard us talking about it, that was the one where those ducks kept rolling up behind us.
They did.
And one was sticking its butthole at Alfredo. They kept flipping it off.
He was upset with those ducks, dude.
I took that shirt home. I don't know where it went. I'm sure I
Got
have
my
another
tote.
one in that box, but you got a tote? You got a tote?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tote.
Ooh.
got my tote.
Oh, Toad's fresh. I love it.
Totes my goats.
What you
Gotta
got in there? Some
go.
books? Yeah. Snacks, maybe?
Ooh.
What's up?
I said, what do you got in there? Some books? Every time I see
Oh, hang
people
on.
carrying
Some
around tote
books?
bags, they just
Got-
have books and snacks.
Look at this. I can read this info blast in the RT chat. The Rooster Teeth eco-friendly collections contain pieces that have been sustainably sourced, including 100% recycled polyesters, organic, sustainably grown cotton, and eco-friendly inks that pass all environmental and manufacturing standards. We are also working with One Tree Planted to plant a tree for every unit of merchandise sold from these collections. Our campaign will be focused on the reforestation of California after the wildfires in 2020. So that's why it's called the eco merch.
It's merch with a purpose. I like to call it merch.
Merpus.
Oh,
I went with Merpus also.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping us in our Merpus today. Appreciate it. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that we can help. I like to go with Gaia because I play video games. Let's help Gaia.
Yeah, Mother Gaia.
Mother Gaia, yes.
Whoops.
on.
Also, I love chat pointed out to you, Trevor. You're like, just vamp as I go. You left. Our vamp was like 10 seconds of silence.
What are you talking about?
And we went,
We talked.
all right.
Yeah.
Maybe for you. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
It was an eternity.
What are you
My
saying?
anxiety was
It
through
was
the
an
roof.
eternity.
Here's what we can
Talking
do.
about?
Second years.
Trevor
We
almost
can work
bailed
smarter
someone
and
on
not
this,
harder.
Okay. Trevor
We'll work
almost
smarter, not harder. We're gonna snip out all of the dead air on all of our podcasts
the
up to this
breaths.
moment. Yeah, all the breaths too.
Yeah.
And then we'll upload those all compiled together as an episode, and we'll be like, boom, we got the week off. Enjoy the episode.
Week off.
If
What's
someone,
wrong, Tyler Stab? Did I hear Tyler Stab?
Tyler's begging,
He
no.
said, please don't. That means
well,
please do.
That doesn't
So
mean anything.
do.
Yeah. Dude.
I just want someone in the
So
audience
will.
to edit together a breathing compilation. If you've seen those on YouTube, they're great. It's just every breath someone takes in like an infomercial. So it's just like,
Oh, yeah.
It's
It's like infomercial minus the info.
Yeah.
yeah. I just love them. I don't know why.
What one did we watch?
It's a Pizza Man. I know that.
What did
Pizza
it end
maker is-
with? Did it?
I don't
Did it have like a
remember.
punchline? Yeah, it was. It was just a video going.
There's no he slams the dough down at one point.
It's like
yeah.
every time he took an audible breath, and it was all cut together.
Stupid as
I
shit.
assume there was a punchline at the end. I don't remember. I just remember the breathing. It was so weird.
I've seen like hypercuts of like pastors, like
Mm-hmm.
those old television channels that are like local network or local access, whatever, and then or the ones that stream on YouTube. I've seen those where there's a lot of because they're really into it.
Yeah,
They're
they're into it,
selling it,
Mhm.
and they're curing things or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They're
Same-
Oh, that's the one you
they're
call
not.
like the
They're not curing anything. Just so you know.
Televangelists.
tit
no, they're
evangelists.
definitely-
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the ones that are like in a
Pure
tent off the
scam.
highway or whatever.
They're, it's the same like I guess genre of editing. I'll loosely call this a genre of editing if you're taking out the words and just leaving the breaths, but bear with me here. There's other videos that are like that we've seen before and we played in This Just Internet where they'll take a clip and then remove all of the natural audio from it and then just have in like very limited like sound effects. So I don't know if you've seen ones where like someone's playing basketball at a gym and like, I don't know, in the real video, people are like hooping and hollering, it's crazy and you're really excited. But when you remove that, all the energy just goes away. And it's so awkward to hear like the awkward squeaks of a shoe or like a basketball bounce or someone going.
I hate that sound.
Love it.
What?
Hate
The squeak on the basketball floor?
On like a basketball, like a wooden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just hate it. It's not like nails on a chalkboard makes my skin crawl. I just don't like it. It's just annoying. This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Do me a favor and imagine everything you did online today. Every website, online store, streaming service, even the tweets you liked. Now imagine all of that being combed through, collected, and aggregated by third parties into data used to exploit you. Private lives getting exposed was something only high-profile people had to worry about, but now since everyone's online, we're basically all public figures with our own digital fingerprint. To keep my data safe when I go online, I use ExpressVPN. It's true. ExpressVPN uses an encrypted server to mask your IP address, making it more difficult for data brokers to identify you and harvest your data. That means you can browse the internet without fear that someone will steal and sell your information. And the best part is ExpressVPN is so easy to use on all your devices. Just the press of a button and you're protected. I've been using ExpressVPN for almost a year now exactly, which is great since I've been solely working from home. It's just super easy. It's convenient. And it's a nice little extra level of security to have, which is always a good thing. So if you're like me, or if you like me, you believe that your data is your business, secure yourself with the #1 rated VPN on the market. Visit expressvpn.com/offtopic and get 3 extra months for free. That's expressvpn.com/offtopic. Go to expressvpn.com/offtopic to learn more. Now, in a basketball game, it's not usually that bad because there is a million things going on.
Yeah.
There's like, it's so loud. It doesn't really bother me. It's just like that noise by itself. Like literally the video Lindsay's describing is awful. It's just so annoying. It's such an annoying noise.
I can't remember her name,
like,
but it's the dancer from the Missy Elliott videos. She was younger at the time, but they recently brought her back into the spotlight because Missy Elliott
she had the yellow
comeback.
jumpsuit.
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah. So if you've seen that edit, Tyler, if you want to bring it up, feel free. That's a fantastic edit. Everyone's losing it when she came on stage. It was a great moment, but they sucked all the energy out of it in this beautiful reimagining of it. And you just hear the sneaker like squeak a couple times, an awkward clap. It's great.
Yeah. So what you're saying is somebody sound designs just what that one person is doing. So you hear the and then you hear like a every now and then you'll hear somebody in the audience be like just like stuff like that.
It just feels like I like it because it's reminiscent of a lot of stuff that I used to watch in college when I was getting into like film and film study of like people will re-edit trailers. A big one that I love is called Must Love Jaws. And it's someone edited Jaws as if it were a romantic comedy. And I love that. It's just the power of editing. That's all it is. It's the same footage.
You mean it's not?
With the fish?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Matt.
Jeez.
So I have some stuff to tell you. We'll talk later.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Like as if the main two men were more like enamored with this shark than like wanting to kill it. It's great. You should absolutely watch it. Check out Must Love Jaws.
The main two men. You mean Bulk and Skull?
Yes. Sorry. I was thinking Richard Dreyfuss in my head. I'm like, what the hell are their character names?
No, it's Bulk and Skull.
Yeah.
Allison Stoner.
Thanks.
That was her name.
I could believe you if it Bulk and Skull.
Was she in Sweet Life? Is that what it was?
She was
Cheaper by the Dozen, Camp Rock.
She's in Cheaper by the Dozen.
Step
I know that.
Up.
Yeah.
Did you talk about Sweet Life with Zach and Cody, or?
Yeah, I mean, what else? There's no other Sweet Life.
I don't know. There could be plenty of other
that's a really
Sweet
good point.
Yeah.
Who has a better life than them?
Sweet Life without Zach and Cody.
That's what the Disney Channel became once it was canceled.
I was gonna say, weren't they not in one of them? I might be remembering that wrong.
Didn't they get a yacht or something, or like live on a boat?
Yeah, I think they went from like the hotel, and the hotel manager then worked on a boat too. I don't know.
And then they had the crossover. Did they not have like Sharpay showed up? And then they had like some kind of High School Musical transition. Oh, here's the Allison Stoner video, by the way.
Oh, yes, nice. I've seen
All
this.
All right, Lindsay, provide the sounds because we can't use the actual sounds, so you're going to have to do it. Here we go.
Okay, we can't sing.
It's just...
It's one, yeah.
It's just all squeaking. It's just nothing but squeaking.
Beautiful.
And then like some like efforts like
Right, yeah. Like a little bit of breathing. I love that stuff. It's great. And the power of editing. That's why I love post work.
It was Sweet Life on deck. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And there was Wizards on deck with Hannah Montana. What in the hell?
That's what I was saying. Yeah, they had
what
crossovers.
a triple crossover.
Trevor, come back. You're falling out of your chair.
Sorry, I was falling into the Disney Channel original.
That's the power of Selena Gomez and Miley Cyrus and the twins whose names escape me. Cole and Dylan. There we are.
Zach and Cody.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes.
No, you're talking about Sprouses.
So the Sprouses. Yeah. There's so many damn twins. The Maori twins,
Dude,
the Olsen twins.
Eric, talk about Selena. Eric has been talking up a storm about Selena and Chef. Let me tell you.
Tell us.
Selena and Chef on HBO Max. This isn't a plug. It's just Eric. I mean, I think Eric's got something going on, possibly.
Yes.
Wizards on
like a personal
Is this the
thing
plug
going
for
on,
the
but-
plug?
I didn't even know that existed.
Unwillingly, yes, it is. If he's got something going on, I'm helping.
It's called
I'm just
Face Jam
saying.
on Deck.
I'm just saying. Well, it's more
With
just like
Hannah
a Face
Montana,
Jam
the
plug,
Wizard.
you know, because he's talking about it in Face Jam. But I'm just saying, I think he's trying to make something happen. That's all I'm saying. He's talking
Best
about
of luck,
Selena
honestly.
and Chef.
Yeah.
He's like talking about Selena and Chef, and they're like Face Jam eats food. He's trying to make something happen. That's all I know. And I don't trust him. That's all I'm saying. He keeps going.
Listen,
No,
can you
I
ever
like
trust?
it."
Can you ever trust that guy?
No. He's not so much a rat. He's more of a vulture. People just don't know that yet. He just goes around feeding off the dead.
Dang, he's a flying rat.
I mean,
Those are
I'm
pigeons. I
Rats
thought.
too much credit.
Yes, both are
Yeah.
from New York. Also, I've seen rats in New York. They'll eat people. I will testify to that right
I
now.
don't know if
People
I
are a
would say rats
delicacy.
are from New York. Like
Yeah,
every
they're
rat
the rats,
moved
sorry,
here.
the rats in New York.
Have
Yes.
you seen a rat in Texas? They're like, get out of here. All right, country boy. I'm a rat just walking here.
Sorry, sir.
Oh, my bad. Jeez.
Oh, say
I'll
hi
get
to
right
Stuart
out of your
Little for me.
way.
Oh God. Oh,
I
oh,
saw
boy.
a video about a rat in the big city, and it was kind of like Stuart Little,
I
like
was
maybe
about to
like
say
a
driving a
much
car.
worse version of it.
Was he driving
And
a little car?
No, he wasn't driving a little car, but he was riding something, and it was a barely alive pigeon that he was macking on the brains of. He was digging in there.
I'm telling you,
It was one of the few
Vicious.
videos that started to make me feel a little bit ill. I was like, this is wrong.
Trevor, that's like a
These rats are
nature show
vicious.
from New York City. You're like, this is the city. The
Where
streets
is
are
planet
rough.
Earth, but only in the rural, or excuse me, the urban areas, right? Like
I
the
would
cities.
watch the hell out of that. Are you kidding me?
Right. Yeah.
Let's
Here
make the
we
nature
have
show.
the
Yes.
native rat of the New York, the New York City. I wouldn't be the.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do it. Yeah.
clearly.
The group of roaches are heading from the porta potty back to their source of food, right behind the dumpster behind the Quiznos. Let's head over there and check it out.
Let's get a little closer here and see.
Oh,
I like that they were heading
scurrying of
from the porta potty to the source of food, which for a cockroach, I feel like the porta potty might also
Might
be a
have been
source
that,
of
yeah.
food.
Oh, yeah, no.
Just
I was thinking
imagining, like-
home, food source, return home.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a bug.
The
Thinking
scurrying.
like a bug. Oh, sorry, I was thinking like a bug.
It's
Again.
a-
Bugs on the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just imagine like the scurrying of a raccoon has upset the horde. They are dispersing now.
Just a bunch
But
of dudes going,
reconvene
get the fuck out of here!
Screaming. Fuck you.
Coyotes
Get
are
outta here,
getting
rat.
bold now too. Have you seen there's been more reports of coyote
Now?
attacks
Like
in the
right
city?
now?
Yeah, because usually they just kind of like scurry away in my experience. You can go like, get, and they're like, oh, sorry.
Go on,
"Oh,
get.
Bye. Yeah. Now they're like, what? I'll fight back. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, coyote. Shit.
got nothing better
hungry,
to do.
dude.
Yeah.
You'll destroy me.
What are they
Trying
gonna
to
do?
get hungry.
Yeah, that's why I'm breeding and releasing a bunch of raccoons in my basement.
To fight the coyotes?
Are
To
you
feed the
releasing? Wait, are
coyotes
you
so they don't
releasing
eat
them
the
into your
people.
basement? or-
Here's the lie in that story. I would believe you about breeding raccoons. I don't believe you have a basement in Texas.
I dug my own.
It's good luck.
I dug my own with
Dirt is like
dynamite
concrete
and a
here.
pickaxe.
Yeah.
I am all for a raccoon fight club now, though. Like,
They're not gonna
Trevor-
fight each other.
I'll fight
They're
those
gonna fight the
raccoons.
coyotes. Lindsay, listen.
Well, one at a time. Who am I facing first?
Hey, oh wait,
Week one.
alrighty.
Calm down. Raccoons? I don't know, man. Raccoons, I think, would be way more vicious We used to deal with raccoons on the UT campus, and they would hide in our trash cans.
they're pretty
and then you'd go
vicious,
throw stuff
but-
away, and they'd like go.
Well, pipe
Well,
down,
they
boys.
have like thumbs, right?
Yes.
Like, so, yeah, they could do something.
Matt's like, they got thumbs.
Yeah, thumbs.
Nature's weapons. They just
That's-
gouge
look.
the eyes out or whatever.
Look, that's what we needed. All we needed was thumbs.
Okay,
Now
so
we
Matt,
got technology.
it sounds like you have a different experience with raccoons. Lindsay, a different, and you've got more
No.
friendly raccoons. That's a weird looking
No,
hand.
not at all. I was
Yeah.
agreeing. They are vicious.
No,
They can be vicious.
They
but-
generally are vicious, period. They just don't really come near you unless they got the rabies. Then they'll go ape shit.
Yeah.
Raccoons are
Normally,
fucking
I think
disgusting
they're
animals riddled with disease.
I think they're vicious, but I think they're smart enough to know when it like benefits them to not be.
Unless they have rabies, Matt. It
Well,
eats their
yes,
brains.
again, unless they have rabies. Rabies just takes everything off the table. though.
They become rabies is,
You know.
is
Including
real
the
life.
brain.
Yeah.
Rabies is like real life zombie. They just
Oh, yeah.
their
Essentially,
brain
yeah.
melts and they just bite
They
and
start fearing
infect.
water and go insane.
Yep. Kirby, did you have a talking point for raccoons earlier? Also, if
Oh,
they're
I
carrying
have no
water, how would they
idea.
wash their food? Raccoons wash their food all the time.
Mhm.
Would they be afraid of cleaning their food? Anyways.
The irrational fear of water.
Oh my
We'll never
god,
know.
yeah.
Oh my god, we already hit the ding-a-ling bell. Dude, we're like halfway through this piece of crap show already. Amazing. And thanks for the sponsors for sticking with us through this pile of shit. Much appreciated. Thanks to our first members for supporting this stream and more better ones than this. Thanks. Your support has always been very appreciated, but no more than the past year plus, 2020 and on into 2021. You've enabled us to keep making shows like this and doing bigger shows while from quarantine, like Dead Little Roosters and things of that nature. And we're already ramping up for the next one. About no spoilers, but next big show about to start filming soon. So thanks sponsors, appreciate it. If you'd like to sign up to be a sponsor, check it out. Try to do a free trial, and maybe you'll catch something better than this live and go, now it's worth it. Got it. Did you sign up yet? Nah, I wouldn't either.
Dang. They just hit cancel right when you said that.
No.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh shit.
I see everybody from that. Was it one time? Every time the bell comes up, they go FIRT. And now I want to. Now I want to sell a first exclusive shirt that's
They do
just a
say
bell.
FIRT.
And it says FIRT.
I'll buy
They'd
it.
buy it. People would buy that. I mean, if people bought front back, I think they'd buy FIRT. They scream FIRT every time.
Yeah.
It's also
Every
great,
time.
like, that shirt's going to start conversations because someone's going to go, does your shirt say fart? You're like, no, my friend, it says
No,
FIRT.
no,
Let me
no,
tell you about
FIRT.
FIRT. Yeah.
It's like a.
Have you
It's like
heard
a
of
different
FIRT?
kind of
Let
fire.
me tell you about FIRT.
Tell you about FIRT.
In the natural green fields of Firtopia. FIRT.
I study fertology. Please. Going for my PhD. I got a couple more years.
You get there. You get there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
I believe
Tuition's
you.
hard.
Well, you only have FIRT to sell. I get it.
I have that FIRT trust fund waiting for me to pay for all this. Goodness. Where did FIRT? I mean, I've seen the origin of FIRT discussed, but do we have do we have saved clips of the origin of FIRT?
I mean, I have no idea. It's either someone said it or I imagine it was a graphic that was misspelled. That's my assumption. I'll be honest. Didn't care enough to find out. One day, people, one day, people in the chat started saying FIRT, and I went, I guess somebody fucked up, and that's all I needed to know.
Oh, they don't want FIRT merch. They want FIRT mert, is what they're saying. I'm looking at them now, staring them down. There needs to be a listen. We can't have a FIRT mert until we have a Wikipedia page for FIRT.
Now they're talking about FIRTographers. Stop it. Take the photos in the FIRT shirt.
Firtology.
The FIRT shirt.
It's FIRT
Right.
grade, SpongeBob.
Exactly. Damn it.
It
Raccoons
was
with rabies
Chelsea's
to this.
flub.
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
So that's even
a rare one.
that makes sense why the chat is so ravenous about it, because it's where they live.
Like raccoons.
Yes.
Oh.
Chelsea typed FIRT and gave the chat rabies. So now whenever they hear the bell, it's a rabies only activated by the FIRT bell. And then,
Have lots of rabies.
after after the FIRT thank ends, they go back to being normal. That
Instead of
makes
starting
sense.
to drool when you hear the bell, you start foaming at the mouth when you hear the bell.
Yeah.
Getting a little crazy out there. Calm down, everyone. I like that you've basically said that chat is our trash pandas. Thank you, trash pandas. Yeah, you said they're all raccoons. I mean, if Chelsea is like leading the raccoons, the rest of the chat is raccoons.
I'm just saying what
you lead raccoons.
Here's the thing. What I learned from
believe.
that, just what that origin is. And Chelsea gets it every week. That's what I learned. I didn't know there was a single person getting hammered with FIRT, and now I know. You know, hey,
I'll do nothing
Oh
about
my
it, but now
god,
I
the
know.
chat just said they're FIRT babies. Stop. I love it.
I mean,
but stop.
Now that makes me think of fart babies because of the whole fart convo.
babies
and
fart, dude.
What's a?
That's how baby rabbits keep warm, Trevor. Their parents fart all over them when they're nesting, and then they just go and get food and come back. Yeah.
What?
I don't know enough about rabbits to defeat.
Yeah, to dispute you. Yeah.
I only know that from Letterkenny. I was like, is that true? It is true. Okay, apparently.
I don't
get all
want
my
that.
nature
Some rodents
info
do
from
that.
True,
Letterkenny.
yeah.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by BetterHelp Online Therapy. There's a huge misunderstanding of what therapy is. We're led to believe that it's just sitting around and talking. Now, if that were true, recording this podcast could be considered therapy, and I can confirm it definitely is not. Therapy is way more than just talking. It gives you the tools that you need to handle things like your temper, stress, depression, anxiety, PTSD, whatever you're dealing with. Therapy is very often the best and first step to take. That's where BetterHelp comes in. They offer customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what therapy is really about. It's always a good time to invest in yourself because you are your greatest asset. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and off-topic listeners can get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/offtopic. That's BetterHelp.com/offtopic.
Matt, if you were freezing to death and the only way that you could stay warm was a pocket of fart from a close friend or family member.
Guess I'd die, Lindsay. Guess I'd die.
Well,
if you had a bag full of your mom's farts, I think, and you were freezing, you're diving into that bag.
Oh shit! Matt will be like, just like home.
Nope.
You see all the dribble and like
Michael, I was
goo that
just
was on my
gonna
face.
ask.
Yeah,
What is happening?
Well, I keep you guys aren't hearing me hit mute. I've sneezed like 150 times in this podcast, but now thanks to the power
Smelling
of
the
my
fart
mixer,
Yeah.
I can I hit the mute button real quick. I save the audience. I save broadcast. I save everyone. And to thank me, they cut to me when there's dribble all over my face.
Why would they do that?
I've looked
I
worse.
think you might be a bit ravenous. Do you have?
Oh, is he talking?
yeah.
No,
I
he's
don't know.
drooling.
Look how watery my eyes are.
Yeah, you okay?
Oof.
Christ.
No!
Smell that
Are
fur.
you okay?
How you doing?
Gee.
You good? Yeah. Faint shock. Oh, my goodness.
Shocked Lindsay face.
I've done it a bunch
Oh.
off camera. Once or twice they've caught me, but I just feel like an old man. They keep there's occasionally you'll see me in the shot I have like a bunch of tissues that I'm using and I'll like cough into it even if I'm on mute, and I just look like one of those old men that has a fucking handkerchief in his pocket and they just go not COVID related, just the classical old man cough.
Yeah. They took it back in to get back to church. I know.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to involve
Well,
religion
like
in this,
they're
but-
probably dying, but we're not going to look into it.
No, see, I'm not going to the extreme of like there's blood in the cough. It's just like that classic, like, dude, my father always had a handkerchief. He was like from that generation where you're just like have one in your pocket all the time. Not even if you're not sick, you just have a handkerchief. You need it, it's there. And it was in like a sock drawer. He had like 20 of them. Be hot day out, take the handkerchief out, wipe the sweat from your brow, put it back in your pocket. You know?
It really was
that
like
generation is dead now.
Well, because of the disgusting like piece of cloth they carried around. Like,
when they realized germs when they discovered germs, they said we might want to stop doing that.
Well, because you're
we don't
right.
have laundry yet.
My grandpa, he did that too, and it was just like it was an end all where it's like, got to sneeze right in here, got some sweat, wipe that off, back in the pocket.
You got to sneeze. Then
Gross
put
What
the
bucket.
keys on
happened to
your head.
him?
he lived to be like 98 and died.
He's not a something.
So
Not a
sounds
great
like-
example of what we're talking
Keith
about.
Richards
but-
example,
So what you're
actually.
saying is
that
it
prolonged
strengthens
his
you.
life.
Maybe that's true. Maybe he was using it as like I got to take my hit of germs for the day to make sure that
he
I'm
was
like,
actually breathing in the whole time. Oh my god, he thought he
never
was coughing.
coughed.
Yeah, he went
reverse cough.
Yes.
Whoa! You
Now I'm
sneezed into it, and I'll breathe this in later, and then he
Like
tucked it
Bane.
away.
Christ. I love it. Well, yeah, like the environmentalist in me is like, okay, yeah, obviously,
Dead.
like I don't want to waste napkins or like, trees, obviously super important, planet's dying. But like, I can't get behind a handkerchief. I never could. Like, even if I
Wash
watch
it.
that
What do
thing
you
as much as
mean?
possible.
What the hell are
I
you
don't-
talking about?
One, I
What-
forget
what
shit
if-
all the time.
You
I'm not
wash
gonna watch
clothes?
it.
What the hell are you talking about?
What if you had
bizarre.
a cycle? What if you had a cycle, Lindsay, where it's like every day there's a different handkerchief?
Well, yeah, they
And-
come
my
in
Monday
like
chiff.
50
Yeah.
packs.
Yeah, my Monday shift, and then like every 2 weeks or something, you just throw them all in the wash.
I think
Like those pill
that's
packs.
Yeah.
the what is supposed to happen. Again,
I could work with this.
You don't buy a single fucking handkerchief. It comes in like
everyone
it always
only
looks
had
the
one.
same. Yeah.
Yeah,
they all
yeah.
look the same. You're not a fucking magician. They don't come in 10 different colors.
One moment I had to sneeze.
Maybe they should for your loved
That's
ones to be
generally
like,
how
that's a
they
different
work.
handkerchief. I
You
know.
use them, you put them in the laundry, you get another one.
Okay, see, if this is the style, I'm cool with that. Matt's turned me on to this idea, especially because I grew up like I had day of the week
What the
underwear for a period
hell?
of time. I don't know if y'all did too, and I
Day of
loved
the
that.
week.
What?
Yeah, it was never the
I
right
mean-
day, but I had
So
day of the week
you
underwear.
set the day on it.
Yeah. It was like designed that way though. It was like a little be like Monday and it would be like
Well,
a
that's
little
weird.
cursive and then there'd be a little type of fruit. So it'd be like Monday was an orange or like Tuesday was strawberries.
Did you start
Wednesday
to notice
is
that one
blueberries.
day in particular looked a little extra stained? Like, man, I shit my pants on Thursdays
Every
a lot.
Wednesday. Yeah. What's
I
happening?
do know every Thursday.
Friday
Really-
is pizza day
really
in the
messed up
cafeteria.
those
so-
strawberries.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's blood. That's not strawberry. Whoops.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
I just thought I was wearing actual strawberries.
I don't think so, Trevor. Sorry.
Uh,
I think the
remember
most
that-
concerning part of that is just wearing the wrong day of the week and going, I'm a free spirit. What are you gonna do? Whoa.
I
No one knows.
Revel.
it's more of a free spirit if you're like, ooh, Monday, haven't washed these, but it's Monday.
Rules dictate. Gotta wear it.
I have to wear these.
Ugh.
Dude.
So says the underwear. So I must do.
Speaking of filth, we're
Go
getting our
on.
new office signed up, cleaned
Trevor,
up,
you're all
moved over.
over the place today.
What are you
We're all
talking
a little
about?
wonky. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, very early on, you said compiled, and I didn't bring it up. The chat attacked you for it, but I didn't
No,
say
they
anything
didn't.
about it. They
If I didn't read it, they didn't
they
do
gave
it.
it to you hard. Then you
No.
said something weird when Matt was talking about a rabbit. I don't remember what it was, but you said a word that didn't make sense at all.
I said I diffused, and he said I don't know enough about rabbits to dispute.
Mhm.
And I said
Yes.
diffuse,
Mm.
diffuse the argument, dispute the
Oh.
topic.
I think
Oh,
it would
okay.
work either way.
I mean,
It
listen,
got
I'm
caught
a word
under Matt.
fumbler, and I don't care.
Here's the
It
thing.
doesn't matter.
You're not
Words
just
are
a
made
word,
up.
You're not just a word fumbler though, but
True.
you're like a big word user. And I lost it in the mumble. I thought you'd meant to say something else, and you said that, but it was under Matt.
Sometimes I say
and
big
then
boy
Matt-
words.
Matt texted me, and he was like, "Idiot."
It's true.
Idiot.
It's true. I really did.
I appreciate Trevor's like me, and I've seen other people do this also, where like you'll say a word that's almost the word you meant. It's
I do
damn
that.
close, but it's
Yeah.
not quite what you wanted. But everyone else around you knows what you meant, so they just kind of let it go.
Yeah, but then
do
there's like one person that calls you out on it, and an achievement hunter, it's everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that does not fly.
Yeah, it doesn't fly here. It's like
The thing
you all
is-
knew what we meant, but
And then we're going.
you still pointed it out.
Here's
yeah.
the thing, Matt. What if someone learns from you and nobody says anything?
Well,
then they're
Michael,
gonna
I don't
say
think
it
there's a
wrong
danger of
forever.
that happening.
You don't know that. Yeah, there could be somebody
Like my
watching.
children.
And you use
Yeah,
an incorrect
you said you
word.
wanted to have children soon. I
Uh-huh,
heard it
I
out of
do.
your
I do.
actual
I've-
mouth.
heard it.
I've thought about it.
You use an incorrect word, someone's going to take that word. They're going to run around, start spreading around, then
See,
they're going to look like an
I think-
asshole.
Well, you
I
know
think
what?
the
Fool on them
key-
for not doing extra research.
Yeah.
Trust
I
my
think-
stupid brain.
I think the
No,
key to like
no.
any kid I have is going to have to be like, learn from this man, but know when to kind of look into it.
Well,
Here's
I mean,
where
language changes. You know, people
also
get words
true.
wrong all
Yeah.
the time, and so now
Oh.
like definitions ebb and flow based on what the majority of people think. So I think we could start a wave here.
So
you know, I
what
think
you're
if we all start saying FIRT instead of first, we might be able to really pummel it through
Sure.
and get some traction here on a
Get it
global scale.
wrong enough, and it becomes right.
Yeah.
And then if anybody corrects you,
Okay.
just like point to your shirt.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and they're wrong.
I'm
So,
just
yeah.
saying for Lindsay to dispute, someone should fact check after they hear Matt say a word and not go by what he's saying. Just said they learned something from watching Letterkenny. Okay, so clearly you already do it.
But
You hear,
And I did
Lindsay,
additional
did
research.
you fact checked, right?
I did.
you?
I went
Did
one
you?
moment, please,
There you
to
go.
Google.
Lindsay
yeah,
is a
but just-
prolific
you did it just
Googler,
now,
and I
though.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
You did it now, or you did it when you heard it?
No, I did it when I heard it. And
Okay.
yeah,
All
Trevor's
right. I'll
mentioned that
give it to
before
you.
too. If I hear something that's kind
I'll
of
give it
like,
to you.
I don't know, or you piqued my interest, I will
Yeah.
spend that night, like I'll spend 5 hours online that
Yeah,
night,
our
like
children
looking up
go
every bit
hungry.
about it. Yeah, they're
Well,
fine.
what
Mom,
that
you
specific
deep
thing
dive.
that you,
Sorry,
that you
honey,
brought
They
I
up,
got
need
their
to
wheel.
look up
Yeah.
this word.
that specific thing you brought up, I would not spend 5 hours
Rock
looking
up?
up.
See, we don't
rock
do
up.
it.
Yeah, we do it.
It turns
And
into a
again,
rabbit
see,
hole.
it was called
usually.
out, just like I said it would be.
The thing is, it'll
just a good
never
example.
it'll
Yeah,
never
no, I
stop
know.
because there are days where I try to be better. I go, I'm not going to call it, and 3 other people do it.
Oh no, I know, and
so
that's
It'll
I've
never
noticed that.
happen. There'll be
I've really noticed that, Michael, where it's like I've
what
said something and I was like, Michael's gonna nail me for this one, and then Jeremy does it, and I'm like,
what
I've
I've
let it go. I know
what
he
I've
knew.
started doing instead of calling you on it, because it doesn't matter, it's going to happen anyway, is then saying I let it pass. Because I let it pass, I say
You
nothing,
know.
and Jeremy hits you, or I'll go, come on, man, come on.
The man's got it rough.
Yeah, it's like there's no reason to keep
And
going.
so usually the response, regardless who the target is,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, come on.
He's already
let
got
it
it
go.
hard.
6-hour Monopoly, he lost.
Hey.
And the worst part was 3 hours in, I was like, it's over now. It's gonna just be us going back and forth, and I'll lose eventually.
Oh, excellent. It looks like there's already a FIRT wiki page
Oh, nice.
on the Rooster Teeth fandom wiki, and all the comments are just FIRT.
There's already FIRT merch on Redbubble.
Oh yeah,
Is that what it is?
I just
Is it
said
that?
it, but
yeah, there it is.
I have
It's the
no
first.
idea.
Family and Rooster Teeth FIRT. That's what Tyler Stab posted in the.
Where did he get that from?
I don't know. Did he make it?
I have no idea.
Well, hey, we
Can
got
the
the shirt
shirt
right
be
there.
like intentionally like worse?
Oh, the community member made it.
Like we make the worst shirt we've ever made, and it's
We've
like
done that
like
already.
Matt will draw the star. I'll write the word FIRT.
Well, hey, now I can draw a
Stars are hard to make.
Stars are hard to draw.
How many sides? do
Oh,
they
you
have?
just make a
Nobody knows.
pentagram
Didn't
and
I
flip it
make
upside down.
an Achievement Hunter
Easy.
logo, and I
Erase
drew
the
it,
circle.
and it looked terrible. And I said, I'm going to change the actual logo. I'm going to, as the manager, I will legally change the logo to this. And I don't remember when or where that was, but it was sometime, and my star
Yeah.
was heinous.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
I remember I drew something once and I saved it because I kept saying it was going to be merch. It was like a shoe or something. I think I drew like a knockoff Nike and I said we should put it on a shirt. I don't remember. I drew something like that was my avatar for a while, I want to say, on social media. Like something I drew of like, this is going to be the next big thing. And I don't know nobody chased down the lead, you know.
If you had a mock
lost
of a
out.
Nike though, and it's not called a Mikey, it's a lost opportunity.
Well, you just why didn't you
man, it
save that
really
till after the
is.
podcast?
But everybody would
you just
say-
gave that you just gave that away to the whole
Right.
world.
Now
Marketed.
someone named Mike is going to pick that up.
You just
Jordan.
you just
Yeah.
fucked us.
Yeah.
Like a Mike Jones,
Hey,
perhaps.
Dude, I hear Michael Jordan very litigious. So I've heard.
I've heard that in the rumor mill. Yes. It's been tumbling around the
So I've
ether.
heard. Another thing. So, you know, that was the original name for Face Jam was Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan podcast. And they were like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. So then almost I can't remember who came up with it. It was somebody in broadcast. In an act of defiance, we were joking around about Michael Jordan and this and that. And someone came up with Face Jam from Space Jam, which is why it's called Face Jam. That's the joke, if you didn't know that. Because Space Jam is like Space Jam, but there's still food, but it's almost the Michael Jordan podcast.
Oh my God.
So On the
blowing my brain right
I'm
now.
probably I'm broing someone's brains. That's the other thing. You got to cut it off and do it yourself before someone else does it. It's the only way to avoid it. We did the space snacks for the anniversary week, and I introed the live bit saying "Welcome to Space Jam," and Eric started freaking out. Blah 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 blah. They cut that part out. They cut out like the first 5 seconds where I said,
"It's a play on your podcast name." Simple.
I went to watch the video when it came out. It's like, your host, Michael Jones. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Okay, let's pump the brakes for a second. Now let's really think about what's going on here. Is Warner going to sue themselves?
Yes.
Yeah,
maybe,
why not?
I don't know. I mean, Michael Jordan might.
I sue us. Oh wait, Barbara's doing a podcast. I told her I wasn't going to scream.
Declare bankruptcy next, Trevor.
Yeah.
Hers is much more professional. She's doing the Nevers podcast, like the official HBO podcast for that show. By the way, we've gotten some early copies of the show. It's fantastic.
Whoa,
but
Trevor,
that's just a natural plug. You know, if you hear me screaming in the background of an HBO podcast, hey, I made it. I made it, Mom.
That's a natural plug. Or you can get mine, which is not a natural plug. It's an ad I just recorded for that very podcast.
Whoa, my
God.
That was a fantastic ad read.
Incredible read.
Thank you. Just then, hopefully Tyler Stab got the timestamp there.
No, it's not. It's not on this show. I've just done one in general. It's not on Off Topic.
We're gonna have to splice in an ad read for Face Jam.
Okay. That's awkward. It was I assume an achievement hunter ad.
He probably threw in a different ad read or something. So it's going to be really awkward.
I mean, he definitely didn't throw in that one because it's not for the show.
I'll go back slightly just because it piqued my interest. Trevor mentioned suing yourself. Mm-hmm. I got to know now, and I will research this after the show. Like, what's the craziest case of someone suing themselves or like that's had to have happened in some capacity, right? Like,
I think someone sued themselves.
Would be the craziest case, yeah.
Are you legally allowed to? Like, I sue drunk me because he's an asshole, but sober me is great.
I think it would be a situation either where, again, you've gone into another reality and you found yourself, and instead of killing them like you should, you sue them for, I guess, life rights to them, or a clone type scenario. That's like the only thing I can think of.
Or
everything else, I think, would be laughed at a court.
Well, I'm not even trying to be like insensitive here. I'm genuinely wondering because that's the way the law works. Is there's all these little bits and pieces. It's all red tape. But like legally, if someone had multiple personality disorder, could one personality sue another personality legally? Can you do that?
I don't know enough about bird law.
I don't lawyers in chat.
I don't think this is the expert counsel to bring this question.
Yeah.
Any raccoons in the chat? Pass the bar. Let me know.
Your Lindsay brain has we've met our match against Lindsay brain on this question. I am not confident to answer in any way.
God, I wish I were a judge. I'd be throwing out like crazy rules.
You being a judge doesn't bring this case.
Judge Lindsay.
I would want
then
all
I
the craziest
can decide
cases.
the law.
Yeah, if this is my TV show, a la Judge Judy, damn it, then I will pick the cases. Thank you, Matt. You're hired on the show. You're going to be part of the clearance
I'm going to
process.
be the bailiff.
Can I be the defendant every time?
Yes.
I'm just always being sued.
Everyone against Trevor.
Oh, no.
Lindsay, I appreciate that you're always Googling information because I always talk about how much I like learning things because it's just neat to learn more about the world around you. But one of the things I always do is, and maybe that's why I've increased my vocabulary, is when I listen to like Jeff talk. Jeff is very well read, and so he reads a lot of books. He has a lot of good metaphors and nice words to use. And I say things like good and word. And so anytime I hear a word or use a word, I almost always that's like on the periphery of my understanding. I always Google it so I can like look up the actual definition and try to like word of the day, store it away. And smarter every day.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, isn't living just learning, literally? So why not learn about some weird stuff while we're at it?
Not
questions
if I
that no one wanted answered. Yeah. Oh.
I want to know less than the day before. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too much. It makes make screaming sounds in my brain.
You're talking about the red hot chili pepper syndrome.
What I
The
do,
more you see, the less you know.
hey, you know, when I learn, when I go to get gas and it goes, here's the word of the day. And I go, that's a good word. And then I drive away and I go, what's that word?
What's that word?
It was actually a letter, and you're listening to Sesame Street.
I wish.
Elmo says,
You were gone for 2 hours. Where were you? I was at the gas station. Doing what? Watching TV.
Grover had a lot of
Cut to a
points.
security camera. We're just like
Everything's
huffing gas and passing out on the road.
What was the game
I
we played
learned
for?
a new word.
We played for Let's Roll recently, where it was like you have to pick, like one person on the team has to pick a word, and then you lay out like the card game. What was it called?
Code names.
Trevor,
Yeah.
Code names.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was a fun one.
It was
Yeah.
really fun, but it's also great to
Have we
like
played
see
it
how
yet?
everyone's mind works, because I feel like Matt and Michael are on very similar wavelengths. Like keep it very like generic
Go
is
ahead,
a good way to
insult
put
us.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then like
you've got
Trevor and
Lindsay wanted to say stupid.
Yeah. Well, you
No.
also have to like play to the person too, where you're like,
Yes.
if I say like Zelda here, Michael will get it. Michael will understand like these 3 words. I know it, but no one else will. You know,
Mhm. Like
so you kind of figure it out.
definitely playing to people's interests. You're totally right. But also, I guess like my mentality was, if we have a certain phrase, and I thought Trevor might be on the same wavelength when we were playing, is like try and think of something that's a little bit more specific to help join these words together. But that was the opposite of what helped Michael. It made it way more confusing. So I would try and narrow it in for him. And he was like, I don't know, chair? I was like, no, damn it, no.
I've played that a good bit with Jeremy, and my favorite thing that we do is we can reason out how every single word could be attached to like the clue, and we know that like the person who gave the clue is dying, like just sitting there like it's like somewhat entertained, like no, shut up, you know the answers, just do it.
I did hear a few like from Trevor, like
what happened? What'd I do?
Like when you were in charge of the word for code names, and people were Matt was saying Jeremy does the thing where he'll try and like figure out how each possible guess could be the right answer and associated with the word that was given as the
right.
We'll just go through it and just be like, oh man, chair, eh? Well, chair could be table because they're very similar to tables, but
They
also
both have
chairs
4 legs.
Chairs are made out of wood, and
The
yeah,
White
they
House
do have
has
4
chairs
legs,
in
similar
it.
to a
Yeah.
dog. Dogs have 4
It's
legs,
very
and,
South Parkian, right? There's South Park. Oh, why am I blanking on his name? South Park, Lindsay. Yes,
Matt Parker,
his
Stone,
name.
Matt Stone, Trey Parker.
The actor from Jurassic Park. Why am I blanking
Jeff
on it?
Goldblum?
What, Jeff Goldblum? Yeah, I was like,
is his character in South Park likes to do
Call him
that
Jeffy
stuff.
Gold.
He'll be like, "Oh, freezing temperatures. Yes, polar bear, bears in the woods, trees, palm trees, island. Yes. Oh, yes." Like he'll just connect things like that.
Yeah, make the connection. Which is great. That's like what stream of consciousness writing,
Yeah.
I guess. In a way, it's very cerebral and highbrow. But to other people's just
in
saying
another
words.
way, it's not.
It's nope. Sure isn't.
It's very gray
not.
matter and eyebrows. I nailed it.
Have y'all had that in videos too? Where like I feel like there's times where we get into like a comedic loop is a good way to say it, but it's not really a loop. It's like just a never-ending pull of comedy, but kind of the same thing where like someone makes a joke and then someone else will make a joke, and then we start trying to bounce off of that joke, but it becomes nonsense. Like at a certain point, the joke itself has been lost. Now the humor is just in the fact that we're saying stupid shit that makes no sense. But I love when that happens in Achievement Hunter, and it does happen quite a bit, especially in the middle of chaos, like in a gameplay video. It happened recently in a Gmod where we just kind of, I mean, like, I guess the best way to say it is we got the giggles. Like Trevor and me and Michael, and I think Fiona was there, but we all started getting very, very giggly. I was like, what is this, like a sleepover? What happened?
Yeah, when it gets dusty, you
happened to
start to
us?
giggle. You get the little giggle fits.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one that was. Is that out now? Which one?
I think so. I can't remember which Gmod. We had a few come out recently. Definitely check out the Murder Stream that's out today. That was a fun
Stream?
one.
Oh yeah,
Murder Stram.
Chuck makes an appearance. I was talking about being in the office earlier today, and I was sifting through all our many boxes, and I was reminded how much trash we have And I was amazed at the efficacy of the people who moved our stuff. I mean, they had everything labeled, everything moved over, but I don't think it was necessary that they moved our trash bins over with the trash bags filled with trash still in there. So we have ancient trash.
Treasure.
So it's going to be like a time capsule when we go back. We can dive into the trash and be like, what was I eating a year ago?
Trevor, you know what this means?
What does it mean?
Stink Barrel sequel.
Stink Barrel 2.
Stink Can.
Stinkening.
Stink
can.
Stink Bucket. I don't know. What would you call a trash can?
Yeah, stink bucket. It's good. I like.
What's that, Lindsay?
I think stink bucket. It's good. Even though it's a trash can that you're saying. Yeah. I just like, along with making a nature show, we got to document this. Like, I want full documentary crew, hazmat suit, going in, found footage style, into the office to see what disgusting trash we left behind, basically. I know my desk has some living organisms on it by this point.
It's gonna be a journey. I think what we should have done when we moved was pretended we found a spider and just burned the whole thing to the ground, because that's really what's gonna happen. Is day one moving back in is not so much setting up as it is throwing out 50% of the office, because our desks have been trashed and are filthy. We have, I mean, I made a video where I covered Jeremy's desk in Pepsis. Those Pepsis still exist. So I don't even know when that video came out. The Pepsis were old then. I think these Pepsis said Best Buy 2019 or something.
Well, I think that's why
old stuff.
Why you put them there was because they were like already bad, which I wasn't aware soda could do that. But I mean,
Matt, you got to be careful
with
what you're drinking.
Not really. Just drink
it's like a Best Buy thing. It's like the freshness.
I think
they can get a little gammy.
I think not to say that we would have done it anyway, or we were. I don't want to imagine responsibility that wouldn't have existed, but it wasn't the smoothest exiting the office. It was like, get the fuck out, you have one day. We had to kind of like throw everything in our cars and drive home, and then we're working from home. It was I think we came in on Monday and knew by like midday or end of the day Monday, like, hey, tomorrow's the last day.
Yeah.
So the whole day was spent packing up. Still filmed that Ready Set Show at the end of the day. That was just
we did.
Fucking nightmare. With Matt and I just sitting on the floor holding were they sharks or something?
Yeah, it was like inflatable, fish or something. Just talking about like we did this. We were suckered in.
As we were waiting for Trevor to run around the other building looking for like tape or batteries, just like to scavenge parts we didn't have.
Right.
We were continuing to like kind of load our car. And every time I saw Jeremy, he'd go, just leave, just go.
He did.
Get out. And I'm like, no, it's fine. We'll stay. And he's like, we'll stay, get out. And then we stayed. That was the last thing we filmed in the office.
And then
whatever that was when it came out.
That video was as deflated as
no?
the fishes were.
Yeah.
It feels like it was years ago too.
It was so long, dude.
That day felt like a year. I remember I had to make 1,000 midnight trips back to the office for all the random little tiny peripherals that I didn't have at home, because I didn't have a setup at the time. I was like, just had a regular ass computer that I was like, all right, this isn't for streaming or recording or anything. I was just playing games. And now I've evolved.
And now we get to disassemble it soon. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
Do you, I mean, like Matt has a lot more, like tchotchkes is the word I've heard. Knickknacks.
You've heard it from me, for sure. That's what people said on the East Coast. I don't know where the word came from, but just like little pieces of shit you collect.
Your Hummel collection.
Yeah. I mean, a bunch of worthless shit that fills your
Yiddish.
windowsills.
Oh,
Yeah.
My family got blasted with a lot of Yiddish words.
You got a Polish background, don't you?
Yeah. Sure do. So my mother would collect so much shit. She loved lighthouses, but they'd only come out like in the winter. She had a lot of winter themed lighthouses covered with snow. They were white houses in a way, but it's like, oh, look at all this nice windowsill space. Let's put 15 lighthouses there. Shit like that would be tchotchkes. You just go, oh, nice tchotchke collection. Anything of that nature would be a tchotchke. Worked in a lot of people's homes, and me and my boss would be like, oh, they got some tchotchkes we got to work around.
Gotta move them over. Don't break them. They're very important. We had the
One of
Hummel
those-
collection, like I just joked about. And then also, I don't know if any other people in the chat want to weigh in on this, but stereotypically, this was given to your daughter as she grew older in the 90s. But I had these little dolls that would like hold the number of what age you were, and they were given to you on your birthday. So, like your first birthday, you have a little tiny girl holding a number 1, and then it goes from 1 to their 16th birthday. I think maybe it goes over that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But then the character, grows along with your child. So it's like, okay, they start as a toddler and they're still holding like their little 2, and then like, they're 10, they're a little older, they're holding their 10. And I think I got all the way to like 14-ish, and I was upset because I didn't complete the whole set.
No.
It's still incomplete. The completionist in me is upset.
Your collection is worthless without the final 2.
Like, I'm
Mine goes all the way
31,
up to
I still want
94, and it's me in a hospice bed, barely holding up. Actually, my heartbeat monitor says my age.
Oh.
And after the 94, it's a flat line. So
Yeah.
You see them walk in with the 94, and then someone stops them at the door, and they go like this, and they just take it away. They're like, he's not going to make it.
No, it's a door with a hat on the handle, and it says occupied, actually. That's where we go to first.
Yeah,
we
I
go all
feel
the way
like
back to, conception, please. The start of Trevor.
Oh. Yeah. The normal, and I always knew tchotchke was like a weird word. I just like saying it because it's funny. That's probably why you heard it from me, Lindsay, because I'm like, I'm in Texas. Let me blast some tchotchke out. Knick-knack is what the normal word is to me. Like, oh, you got knickknacks? People who didn't say tchotchke was knickknacks. But now it's just burned in. Now it's like, I say that, and people go, did you hear that weird word he said?
I'll say things like schwitzy, right? like if you're sweaty. I don't know how much of that I've picked up from Barbara, because there's a lot of words that colloquially get used around. There's like French words and Yiddish words or whatever that just get used around. But I'm like, every time I throw out a word like that, I'm like, oh, boom. Her family, like, because they use Yiddish words all the time. I'm like, excellent. They know what I'm saying. It's it's nice to spruce up the old lingo.
Yeah. I also like in learning new words too. I don't know any Yiddish, but just like I enjoy when I can read a word. Like I know a decent amount of Spanish, so if I have a Latin-based word, I can kind of figure out like what it means or what they're trying to say here. But even just like Trevor was saying, I like that connection that you have when someone knows a word or some kind of connection that you have there verbally. And even if you're not quite as versed on what the meaning is behind it, you can go, oh, there's a slight recognition. We've bonded now and we'll expand upon it. It's going back to that whole learning. This is like in-person Googling. Remember what we did before the internet when we wanted information?
No.
We would ask people stuff. It was
no,
crazy.
I would just play a video game.
Yeah. I would just be fine not knowing.
Okay. Never knew.
That was like, when Jeremy came to the office. Because it's like, growing up, I would never think, oh, New Jersey and Boston, they're so close. They're really not. But when you're both in Texas, it's very close.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, you're kind of from a similar place where I was from. So there's still plenty of stuff that Jeremy and I have like totally different understandings or, like how we pronounce words and stuff. But more so than most people, from anywhere else, like, from Texas or like the Midwest or whatever. And it was exciting. Like, oh, you kind of know what I'm talking about? He's like, I kind of know what you're talking about.
So I haven't gone yet with Michael. I don't know if Trevor or Matt have. Have you all been to Mexico or no?
Just the one time, yeah.
Okay. I've made a few trips for with the person I was dating at the time and then also with family too. But I like just small like recognition about food too. For me, like I love Jarritos is a good one, and Gancitos. And like those are available in America too. But my point is I used to get them when I would cross the border and we would go get midnight tacos and they were delicious with tripa. So now when I was dating Michael and he was showing me like pierogies, I had no idea what the fuck that was until I started dating Michael. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Let me show you these things from Mexico. Like we were walking through Walmart and he was like, the fuck is Gancitos? I was like, Gancitos? Oh, let me tell you all about
I said
them.
It that good though.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah. I was like,
Very
oh, they're so good.
American phonetic.
I can barely read English. I mean, I'm not very good. I can't. It's impressive, not only Lindsay, like, knowing Spanish, being fluent, who constantly goes, oh, I can't.
I'm
this
not
is the thing.
fluent. I will say that right now.
You are. You're wrong. You are. This is so annoying. I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. Like I don't learn good. I had it in high school and I just kind of made my way through like the bare minimum and then immediately deleted it from my brain because I'm stupid. Lindsay knows Spanish, has learned Spanish, can speak Spanish to like native Spanish speakers, and then looks at me and goes, I don't know Spanish. And I go, do you know what that person just said to you? Well, yeah. I have no fucking idea what they said. You speak Spanish.
Yeah, but
you saying I don't have perfect dialect and perfect pronunciation does not mean you don't speak Spanish. I'm like, I literally do not. You do. What the hell are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. It's so annoying.
Appreciate it.
There's that graph
I get
where
what you're
like
saying.
there's that graph where people have confidence in what it is. So when they first start learning something, they have this extraordinary confidence where they think, I know all the things, because they don't know enough to know what they don't know. Lindsay, you know quite a lot, I'm sure. So you do know what you don't know. But to all of us regular folk, you know quite a lot.
Well, thank you.
I just mean
native
like
English speakers. I appreciate it.
There's never been, literally never
Or I guess
been.
only English speakers, I should say.
Right.
Yeah.
There's never been a time where Lindsay has spoken Spanish to someone and not resolved it. Like either Lindsay needed to ask somebody or someone asked Lindsay. There's never been a time where it's like, oh, what'd they say? I don't know. It's never come up.
And you just
Lindsay,
weren't
take
there.
the compliment.
Yeah, it's just
thank
that's all
you.
you have to do.
It's a compliment.
That's all you have to do.
It's a fucking compliment. It's not. I'll be honest.
Like,
it's not even a compliment. It's just a fact.
It is a compliment, though. It is a compliment because that is actually, to be bilingual is actually quite a task.
But the thing is, to be bilingual and say like, oh wow, that's like that's impressive, or that's, you know, really good. I don't know. It's not even like, and that is a compliment, but it's come up where it's not. I've never been like, oh, I don't, Lindsay, can you come talk to this person? I'm not quite sure. I don't understand what they're asking. And then Lindsay goes out and speaks to them, and I'll be like, oh, really helpful that you speak Spanish. And they'll go, I don't speak Spanish. And I'm like, you just talked to
just
the
had the
person.
conversation.
You just did it though.
I speak it. I'm not fluent.
They
will
go
say,
outside and then they Scarlet Witch it into their brain.
I guess.
Yeah.
I do. Yes.
They touch, and then like suddenly their eyes go, psh, and they go, and they just do a knowing nod, and then Lindsay comes back inside.
Like, the problem is resolved. What?
Anyway, regardless of that, we got.
I think I'm also I'm cautious because I've had moments. Oh, please, Michael, if you'd like to state your case a little more.
Well, no, we got off track. The whole point I even said there was, oh, Lindsay speaks fluent Spanish, and you interrupted it by screaming, "You don't." What I was gonna say was also
before Chad asks.
And here's the compliment. It's impressive how like good at the dialect they are. Like not just speak it. Like I've heard a tiny bit, but mostly it's through you telling me. But like your father speaks Spanish, but it's very. I am a white Texan who knows Spanish.
¿Cómo estás?
Hola, you know, like he knows Spanish and he can speak it, but he doesn't have the cadence. You have the cadence very well, and so it all just what you were talking about of like, oh, this Spanish food. Even if I could understand it, I would butcher it.
Thanks. Or
that was the compliment you interrupted.
Well, I feel like the disclaimer comes from one. There's definitely people in the chat and they're going now who are like absolutely fluent in Spanish. They're going to want to try and talk to me, and I'm going to go, oh, hold on. Like, one, slow down, can't do that. And two, I've had times where I get a little bold and I've tried to speak to people in Spanish, and then I hit that point in the conversation where I go, I've reached my limit. I don't know what you're saying now. And now I have to kind of awkwardly tell you, like, sorry, like conversation is somewhat over now, unless you want to go back to talking about like food or dogs or something a little bit more simpler.
What if
like
you code everything? So like
I should.
Even when you're talking about like complex political issues, you just like everything is still in the language of food and dogs.
Yeah.
So that
the dogs out there.
The language
disgusting.
of food and dogs.
It's called a metaphor, Matt Bragg.
No, I was just saying.
I was driving from New York Comic Con back to the airport once, same thing. My driver hailed me down and he was speaking Spanish. So I was like, just try and make it easier. I'm going to try and just like do this in Spanish real quick. Because I feel like if I can also make someone else's life a little bit easier, I'm going to do that. So I say,
sure.
I think this is your native language. I will try and speak Spanish with you. So same thing. We're like 45 minutes into the ride to the airport. I'm almost there. And then he asks me one question. I'm like, I don't know what that question was. And I asked him like, oh, repeat it, like one more time. Like, do you mind just saying it again? And it was like, nope, totally missed it. And I had to kind of give the awkward like, yeah, like, sorry.
This
Anyway,
is
there's my
universal.
flight. I'm so sorry.
Yo, I do
I'm
that
so
in
sorry.
English though. Like, I'll be like, what? What?
So sorry. Right? But hey, I gave it a shot. Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah.
And I'll say this. It's Lindsay Spanish is good enough where if we're at like a restaurant and people start like talking shit in Spanish, Lindsay will be like, yo, somebody's pissed at this other person.
Yeah,
like,
see, that's
like they're it's like, whoa, juice. I'm sitting there going, what are they saying? And she's like, yo, okay, so they're pissed at the cook because blah 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 or whatever. That's happened several times. And I'm just like, it literally doesn't mean anything, right? I mean, how many times you overhear somebody complaining about something? I wouldn't give a fuck in English, but not speaking Spanish, being a moron, it's like juicy to me. Like,
yeah, it feels like a secret, you know?
Yeah.
You know what they're saying. I don't know. I'm so stupid. I don't know.
That's kind of the thing. It's like I did the same thing, Michael, where like I took it in high school and I retained very little, but I've retained like enough to know when someone's kind of like talking some shit, you know?
Is it because you knew all the curse words?
It's like you remember all the curse words, obviously, and then it's like you remember like basic phrases, and then when you hear someone say in Spanish, like, "Man, this stupid bitch won't get out of the way." Like, yeah, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I know what you said. I heard that. I got you."
Oh man,
but yeah, like one time I was just like in a store, and there's like a ton of people, and I was like trying to figure out if I wanted like this or this, and I heard like something basically pretty similar to that, and I like turned and I looked like, you know, I understand you, right? And he just like went, and then he just walked away. Like that was the only time it's ever come up to be a helpful thing for me.
You could just turn and say that to anybody, Matt. You could be
That's true.
I understand what you're saying. You're like, yes, you should. I'm trying to take your order.
But quite often they're not like insulting you.
I don't know why you were looking away from me and had to turn to me to say that. Someone's taking Matt's order. I heard everything you just said.
Well, I mean, he was over to the right while I was like trying to get something from the shelf, you know, and I admittedly, I was taking a little bit longer. I probably should have, but still, I don't care. I'm at the store. Fuck it.
Damn.
He might have been ordering something. I was just making stuff up, Matt Bragg.
That was like, yeah, he was just playing a joke.
It's a grocery store,
he was
Trevor.
just joking. Trevor was just joking.
Yeah. What are you
Trevor was just joking.
Yes, and
that was like the story I just listened to on the Office Ladies podcast, where Jenna Fisher was talking about how when she was in France, she didn't know that you're not supposed to touch like the fruit when you go to like a fruit market. That's like an American thing. You don't touch it. And she picked it up to like, you know, you smell it and you kind of like shake it and stuff. And then somebody started like talking a lot of shit to her. And she was talking about in a very Lindsay-like manner how she knows French, but she's not very good. And she used to know it. And she said in that moment where someone was like talking shit to her, it was like a brain snap where she just turned to the person and she was like, I'm very sorry. I didn't understand that was your custom here in America. You know, we pick up the fruit and we kind of look at them and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I walked away and then I forgot French again. And she's like, it kicked in like,
I took it out of my mind.
You're being attacked right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, make sure you listen
Defense
to the
mode.
Office Ladies.
Option French.
Available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't, but that's completely wrong and false.
I've had a few moments where I've had this happen, but I've heard like understandably people who are bilingual or trilingual, etc., have had phrases slip in because their brain just like does it because you're speaking multiple languages, and obviously you would think you're thinking in multiple languages as well. So I tweeted about it not too long ago, but I've started to accidentally, like, it happened once to me in a drive-thru at McDonald's. I was ordering and I threw in an "y también" like in the middle of it, and I was like, and a Big Mac. And then I just slowly drove forward. I was like, what just happened?
I don't know. I feel you on that, dude. Because like Barbara and I we'll throw in a lot of just random French into a lot of places that it doesn't belong, just because like it's nice to practice things, but also it's just something we do. But when I'm in, like when we went to Montreal, Fredo, Jeremy, and I, like being surrounded a little bit more immersed, and that's why it's probably easier to become fluent when you're immersed. Your brain actually starts to rewire and think in a different language. And I felt it actually coming back a little bit. I won't propose to say I'm like fluent or anything like that. I know a little bit. That's it. But enough to like respond to things. But then there would be times where I'd get nervous, where like we'd enter. I think Jeremy likes to talk about this, but we'd enter like a cafe at one point, and they're like, welcome in. How can? But it was all in French, and I went to answer, but I didn't even want to attempt it because I was just too nervous to try to speak Spanish. So or French. So I went, I'm sorry, and then they point to the English menu and say, yeah, it's over there, like because they're all bilingual in Montreal.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how that works.
That's what I was gonna say. Like when we went to Paris, I obviously I don't speak any French at all. I know like oui and that's it.
What's that mean?
Yes. Right?
Question. Yeah, with a question.
I don't know. But yeah, I had like no problem at all. Like they just understood everything I said, which it felt really unfair to be honest.
Spoiled.
Other countries do the heavy lifting for us. I mean,
they really did. I was like,
this
isn't very fair to you. I didn't have to learn it all. You did though. You really had to work for me.
I've mentioned it before in other videos, maybe even off topic, but I remember traveling, just talking about France specifically. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyone who's French in the chat, let me know. But my family and I went to France and Spain as just like a European vacation, basically. But my grandfather stormed Normandy. We thought we'll pay tribute to him. And then while we're there, we'll travel to a few different places. So in Spain, I was like, I know a little bit of Spanish. This is a great time for me to practice. I will try. And they were very nice and sweet about me trying, would correct me here and there. And I remember our tour guide when we got to France was like, do not attempt to speak French if you do not know French. This is not the time to get out your parlez-vous and talk about French fries. And do not. I was like, oh, why? Why is that? And they're like, people in France are not big fans of that. Not big fans of the attempt. Just say it in English. Like,
I've heard mixed. Yeah, I think there's
definitely the attempt.
I say no problem.
Easy done.
I wasn't gonna try.
I beg.
There's the one side where it's like, you can definitely overstep and become offensive, right? Especially if you're talking French fries or whatever. But then I have heard, and it's all anecdotal, that some people that have gone who have tried to, like, because it is their culture, it is their language, and you are, in their cities. And so they do attempt to the best of their ability. They're not making goofs out of it, that the people there do appreciate that. But if they do know English, they might kind of swap over for you to make it a little easier. But I've heard it both ways. So maybe, I would love to know.
Maybe it would be just like, don't waste time. Yeah, I don't know.
I also imagine it's, there's probably not an agreement they all have with each other. It's probably just whoever you're talking to.
Well, I mean, it's like a
general consensus.
Right. Yeah. It's not like us Americans are all out here like agreeing with each other on things, but I'm sure there's plenty of stereotypes or wide swath opinions that, you could generally apply to us,
Trevor, is there a language you would like to learn?
A-holes. That's what you can say.
Yeah, Michael. That's
ignorant a-holes.
Like to learn. I guess there's a lot of different languages.
I don't mean to cut in. We got to wrap up soon.
Oh, we got to wrap up.
That's language you want to learn. That's what we're going to study after we leave.
Get your final point in. I just want to say.
Japanese would be good.
Japanese.
I mean, handy. It'd be very handy. Japanese would be one. It'd be great to both learn the language and like read and write.
Yeah, 100%.
If I had to be just like that weeb, it's the most like other.
It's the language
that was so loud in there. It's like the most like other culture I ingest, honestly, through like video games and anime that isn't like American or English. And just from that sense, it would be nice. Like for me personally, like would I go out and speak Japanese to people? I mean, it'd be great if I went to Japan. But like there would be it would be like if I wanted to learn a language, it would honestly probably be Japanese first because I'm dumb. I should learn Spanish is what I should do because I live in Texas and it's very useful and applicable to real life, more so than any other language where I live. But it would be a thing where it's like I could see myself trying to take like a Japanese, learning lesson and then like, you get that out of school practice by just like a lot of ways people learn English. They just watch stuff in English.
Yeah.
And like, you know, obviously, unless you're younger, you know, being as old as I am, I'm not going to watch a bunch of shit in Japanese and then know Japanese. This is, my brain is old and decaying already. But as like a companion to learning, it certainly would be, I imagine, like a bonus. But anyway.
Yeah. We can continue this in the post show.
Video games.
Yeah.
Oh.
I do want to mention,
raining.
and I know it's at the end of the podcast, but I did want to mention this, and we'll mention this more in the off topics to come, maybe in person when it's a little easier. But I want to put out there that we are doing live shows in May, and May 7th, Achievement Hunter is doing their particular one. Michael, I know Face Jam has a live show in May as well. Super excited about it. Ghost Kitchen, super excited about it. I don't know if we have a lower third or anything prepared for it to point people towards where tickets are, but yeah, we're hoping to get into the studio and do some kind of like for Achievement Hunter, doing some between the games-esque sort of things. And if you want to be involved with that, if you want to engage with us and help us, there's an interactive portion of it, I suppose. It's going to be a lot of stupid fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be able to capture the energy that we normally have in the office that we haven't been able to have for like a year. So if you're interested in that, we're really excited to try this because doing live events is something that we just started doing with RTX at home, and so we're really excited to try more things like this. So stay tuned for more information, always on Twitter and whatnot. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there.
Whoa, little clicks.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I got some
They were
clicks in there.
extra
That was actually my joints.
With the glasses, they're extra effective.
Okay.
My camera focus being all goofy today.
Oh, it has been the whole time.
It was a little bit, yeah.
Or was it just everyone's eyesight at home?
Go home, camera. You're drunk.
That's tough to say.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. We're gonna be, packing it in, doing our post show. We got the post team coming up now, like right now.
So don't leave or else.
They're dozen stuff. I don't know what stuff they're dozen.
What are they dozen?
Cheaper by
the dozen.
Full circle. That's I forgot her name already. Oh my god.
Alison
I'm the worst.
Stoner.
Thank you.
Whoa! I was just gonna scream Hillary Duff because that's who I think of.
We've been watching some old Disney movies, and Hillary Duff has been around the living room these last couple days.
She's getting around the living room.
Yeah, well,
okay. Yeah,
She's stretching her legs.
Stretching her legs on the TV.
Yeah, the Lizzie McGuire movie will not be happening. Or was it a reboot show? We don't know.
Cadet Kelly
they abandoned it?
happening.
had better be
They
coming back.
abandoned it.
Cadet Kelly,
Chrissy
last name
Carlson,
Collins.
No one's coming. No, not coming back. Anyway, watch the post show. Watch the post team does stuff. We'll do the post show and then keep you posted.
See you there, FIRT members.
Bye.
Thank you.